Hey folks, today I read an interesting news article about Dr. Anthony Fauci. Turns out he won a $1 million Israeli prize from the University of Tel Aviv. It's something called the Dan David Award. Now this award presents 3 winners each year, each for $1 million Israeli dollars. Fauci was chosen this year, and this is what they said. As the COVID-19 pandemic unraveled, Dr. Fauci leveraged his considerable communication skills to address people gripped by fear and anxiety and worked relentlessly to inform individuals in the United States and elsewhere about the public health measures essential for containing the pandemic spread. In addition, he has been widely praised for his courage in speaking truth to power in a highly charged political environment. Now, we've done a lot of videos, we've gone through a lot of videos where we talked about false prophets, we've talked about, the erroneous messages, we've talked about the harm they can do, we talk about the language they use, we talk about their defense strategy, all that kind of stuff. We've also talked a little bit about prophets and the importance of a prophetic voice and what a prophetic voice looks like in today's world. Whereas in the Bible, we think of a prophet as a person who heard from God's own lips what was about to take place, where God said, if the people keep moving in such and such a direction, at such and such a pace, this is where they're going to end up. And then this is what's going to happen. We still see that in today's world as well. And people like Anthony Fauci were speaking in a prophetic voice where they were able to compile all the information that was around them, everything that they could glean from what was being gathered, and they could let us know, if we keep moving in these particular directions, this is where we're going to end up, and this is what's going to happen. But if we shift our direction, if we change, if we do something different, this is where we may end up, and this is what things will look like. I'm not saying Dr. Fauci was hearing from God on high. I'm saying he was able to glean what he's seen around him. He was able to translate it for the people, and he was able to share it. But as the award mentions, he also spoke truth to power. And this is essentially one of the greatest responsibilities of any prophet, is speaking truth to power. All of the biblical prophets seem to do this, and they seem to do it well. The ones that are remembered did it well. The false prophets that we remember in the Bible, they're always the ones that seem to be telling the leaders, telling people of power what they wanted to hear, what would make them feel affirmed and validated. But the real prophets, Moses to Pharaoh, Elijah to the various kings, Jeremiah to the kings, Jesus to the religious powers of his time. All of these people and more spoke truth to power. They offered the people in leadership, the people in authority, the people of wealth, the people of prestige, the people of power, lessons to help them not only live their lives better, but to help them help their communities. And their messages were never ever really received very warmly. It is a huge responsibility that true prophets carry. Speaking truth to power, it's a dangerous one. There's a great deal of risk. They often are vilified, belittled, minimized, diminished. They're put down, sometimes killed. Think about John the Baptist speaking truth to Herod. What you're doing with your brother's wife is wrong. You need to stop. You're setting a bad example for the people. John was arrested and ultimately beheaded. You and I are in a situation where chances are, if you're like me, you don't have a direct line to your president or your prime minister. Justin Trudeau doesn't know who I am. But my mayor does. The wardens of my community, they know who I am. My bishop knows who I am. My regional dean knows who I am. My archdeacon, well, they're looking for another one, but they'll know who I am. Even though we may not be able to speak to the great authorities, those people who sit on high in our own countries, in our own societies, we do have access to the people who have power within the spheres of our lives. And like the prophets, it is our responsibility to speak truth to them. They may not wield the power to initiate a war, but as leaders in our communities, they do carry power. And it's important that your voice is heard, because your voice is worthwhile, your voice is worthy, your voice is important. What you think, what you believe matters. The wisdom that you have gained over the course of your life, the information that you have gathered, these are treasures. They are important treasures for the world. You and I need to speak the truths that we have collected. And we need to share that truth with the leadership in our communities, with those people that do walk with prestige and authority around us, those people whose voices matter for the future of our communities. We don't have to do it in a harsh way. And as a matter of fact, we don't even have to do it in negative ways. It's equally important for those people in power to know when they are doing good jobs, when they are doing good work, when their decisions have been of benefit and have been not only worthwhile but helpful and healthy for the community they serve. Your prophetic voice, your ability to speak truth to power, it matters. May the Lord bless you. May the Lord keep you. May the Lord's face be made to shine upon you and be gracious to you. May the Lord's countenance be lifted up to you. May you always know the peace of being in the Lord's presence. And I pray that whether it's with your voice, whether it's with an email, whether it's with a text message, whether it's with a handwritten letter, I pray you will speak truth to the powers in your life for all of our sakes. Amen.